What's up? What's up? That's right. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. In this episode, we're going to explore why some of us totally abandon our inner beauty, which is our true selves, and instead become obsessed with our outer beauty, which is our false selves. So stick around. You might be in for a good show. Welcome to another episode of the Animated OG, where we analyze human behavior with humor. That's right, I said human behavior with humor. Soon to be the #1 podcast in the universe, the stratosphere, the hemisphere, the Himalayas, amongst the old and the new school players. Y'all give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so now that I got your big waterhead ass on in here, let me break it down for you. Let me ask you a question. Who are you? I'm not talking about who you become when others are around. I'm talking about who you are when no one is around. When you're at home, all alone, in the dark. Who are you? Back when I used to go over my grandmother's house as a kid, as soon as I'd step in the door, there was a sign hanging on the wall. That sign read, "Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. Beauty fades away while ugly holds its own." Now, what that meant to me was that as a person, it's what's on the inside that counts most, not what's on the outside. At a certain level, we all want to look good. We all want to stay fresh. We all want to have nice things, be at our best. But the person that I'm talking about takes these things to the extreme. They are overly concerned with their appearance. They got to have the latest fashion. And when I say they got to have it, I mean they got to have it. Whatever hairstyle that's trending at the moment, they'll run out and go get it. No matter how crazy it look or how crazy it make them look. Walking around, head looking big as hell, face looking all long. They got all the latest accessories, the new watch, the new bag, the $800 this, the $1,000 that, the new shades, all designer clothes. They say they don't smoke Reggie no more. And most of what they got be fake. Yep, I said it, fake. Either most of it or all of it, fake. Now, we do have a few amongst them that can afford the real, so let me throw them in there too. You see, to this person, all these things is like armor to them. When they get up in the morning and about to head out the door, they not getting dressed. Deep down in their mind, they putting on armor. Now, deep down in the person's subconscious, why would the signal be jumping around that they're putting on armor? And once they do get all dressed up and fly looking in their armor, these people can't even walk past a mirror without getting a good look at themselves. And truth be told, it don't even have to be a mirror. It could be the window of a parked car. It can be a dirty ass convenience store window. anything that shows reflection, they'll take a quick peek. And the reason why they always seek out their own reflection is because they have to make sure that there's no chinks in their armor. The term chink in one's armor refers to an area of vulnerability. Now, why would they be checking their appearance to make sure that they're not vulnerable? Better yet, let's use the word exposed. Why would they be checking their appearance to make sure they're not exposed? It goes back to what I just said in the beginning about what's on the inside. Well, for this person, there is nothing on the inside. This person feels empty inside. This person secretly walks around feeling like a lame and a loser. But for the most part, as we can see, they know how to play it off and blend in. So if you don't know what to look for, you'll never be able to spot them. And that really ain't a good thing, because these people can definitely be a detriment to your health. And I'm talking about your physical health, your mental health, them pockets. Yeah, them pockets. Now let me say this. There's a reason why this person walks around feeling this way. But I'm going to say that for another show. But for now, we just going to say that this person has very low-key, ugly ways about themselves that either no one knows about, no one close to them knows about, or that only a few people know about. And these actions, these low-key, ugly ways, keeps this person's spiritual tank on E. So they walk around feeling empty inside. Now let me play the devil's advocate real quick. There's also a reason why this person has low-key ugly ways. Because the name of the game is this. There's a reason for everything we do. Everything we do. Everything we do has a reason behind it. It's cause and effect, action and reaction. Their actions are nothing more than reactions. Now let that marinate for a minute. Press rewind until it makes sense. But like I said, that's for another show. If I give it all to you now, it'll be grand opening, grand closing. Somebody gonna be like, remember that guy, the animated OG? He did like 4 podcast episodes. The person they talking to gonna be like, nope. Now back to the script. Because this person feels empty inside, they don't really feel that they have anything of value to offer coming from within. This is in terms of friendships, relationships, or whatever the case may be. So they attempt to create value on the outside. Let me say that again. Since this person doesn't feel that they have anything of value coming from within, coming from the inside, they attempt to create value on the outside. Now, fellas, we all know how it feels to walk out the barber shop with a fresh cut, feeling like a new man. And I mean, this is just a haircut, but it got you feeling rejuvenated. That little chick you been wanting to holler at, oh, you gonna say something to her today. She probably ain't gonna holler back because you got an egghead, but you gonna shoot your shot today. Or ladies, You know how it feels to go to the beauty salon and sit in a stylish chair for about 18 hours, getting your hair all did up. A different woman walks out that beauty salon than the one who walked in. Rejuvenated, glide in her stride. And this is just a hairdo. And we all know how good it feels to get a new pair of shoes, right? Especially if ain't nobody else got them. Everybody looking at them, asking where you got them from, asking how much they cost. And of course, with every question they ask, you respond with a damn lie because you don't want nobody else up on what you up on. The feeling of a new anything feels good. A new jacket, a new hat, a new whatever. We all understand that new feeling or the feeling of new. So we can't sleep on this person because they understand that feeling too. But it's much more powerful for them because it means something a little bit more different for them. Because this dress-up game that they play becomes their only source of real pleasure. And anytime we pull pleasure from only one source, we tend to overemphasize its value and importance to us. This is also why they chase their reflection, because their reflection is a source of pleasure to them. You see, they feel empty inside. So thoughts like, I take care of my business, I'm responsible, I'm reliable, don't fill them up. Because these thoughts are not there. Or if they are there, they're unable to acknowledge and connect to them. So they turn to their reflection. Even though, deep down, they're never really satisfied with what they see. Narcissist fell in love with his reflection. And we all know what happened to him. Let me explain something. When you put on something new that you're really excited about, while you're wearing it, you put a little more pep in your step. You walk a little different. You talk a little different. You may not notice it, but others pick up on it. And others, especially those that don't know you, tend to take this way that you're carrying yourself as a mark of confidence. To them, you come off as a winner. Now, your ass might be a straight up buster, but to them, you seem like a somebody because you carrying yourself like a somebody. So if you have any type of interaction with these people, the way they see you will spill out into the way they treat you, and they'll show you a certain degree of respect. And so back to the person at hand. The respect they get showed for walking a little taller fills them up for a little while. Temporarily, they're not empty anymore. The compliment, the attention, the show of respect fills them up for a moment, and they start stepping in double time. You thought they was high stepping before. Look at them now. They cracking the concrete. And so the cycle begins. They get themselves all brand new. They start walking on air because when you look good, you feel good, right? People start treating them like a somebody, and they start to feel like a somebody. This feeling that they feel temporarily fills their empty tank. And because of this, they start to act like a somebody. And the cycle continues. In another show, I'll break down to y'all why this feeling that they feel is only temporary. But for right now, I'll just say it's the same as eating a bag of chips when you're really, really hungry. A small bag at that. Yeah, you put something on your stomach, but it really ain't gonna do nothing for you. You still hungry. So yeah, this is the type of person that won't even come outside if they not all the way put together. Since deep down, they feel like they don't have anything to offer, they tell themselves that it's not them that people like and respect, but the way that they present themselves. So they'll be damned if they let someone catch them at anything but their best. Or in other words, without their armor on. This is why I call their presentation armor, because they use their appearance as a shield to protect who they really are from exposure and attack. Because in their mind, if you found out who they really were, they don't feel that you would be too much interested in getting to know that person, and certainly not coming around to liking that person, and maybe even going to the extreme of starting to treat that person like a poop butt. So they hide. Their appearance and presentation becomes their pass, like a hall pass. It's not their personality that gets them invited to the party. It's their appearance and presentation. It's not their good vibes that gets them asked out on a date. It's their appearance and presentation. It's not the way they handle situations and problem solve that get them in the driver's seat of a new promotion. It's their appearance and presentation. Now, don't get mad at me. That's not me talking. I'm just reading their mind out loud so that you can hear it. So since their presentation is all they feel they have going for themselves, they will go to great extremes to protect and maintain their presentation. Or as we like to say, to keep their fronts up. Because that's exactly what they're doing. Fronting. Now I want y'all to come take a ride with me right quick. A ride down memory lane. That's right. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I kind of wish I was a kid again. Do you remember the first time you got something that you asked for? I'm talking about going back to childhood. The first time you got something that you asked for. You asked for it and you got it. Now this feeling is a little different from the feeling you get when somebody just buys you something random. I'm talking about you asked for it and you got it. I remember I asked for a pair of white high top Reeboks. They ran like $40. This was the 80s. Now, I knew my mother couldn't afford these shoes, but I asked her anyway. So of course, she told me, it wasn't gonna work out. But like a week later, my mother gave me them shoes. It really ain't a word I can use to describe how I felt when I got them shoes. I treated them shoes like a pet. I kept them clean. I took them for walks. I fed them. Those shoes, in my mind, was my only valuable possession. Everything else was worn down and worn out. For like 2 weeks, no lie, I would open my shoebox and just stare at them shoes. I kept them shoes looking as new as I could for as long as I could, even when I had holes in the bottom of them. But eventually, wasn't nothing else I could do with them. Now, I know that sounds real corny to your corny ass, but the point is this. When a person feels that they only possess one thing that holds real value in their life, just sit back and watch how obsessed and possessed they become with maintaining it. You ever see an older guy in the neighborhood that seems to hold his car as his most prized possession? Like he always sitting in it, playing the radio, popping the trunk, and most of the time, he don't even go nowhere in it. Do you see how much that man washes that car? Do you see how much that man washes that car? He washing it right now. And he just washed it yesterday. But it's cool though, because we ain't mad at him. Hey y'all, this concludes this episode of the Animated OG. If I have merchandise available, you can link to it in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so that I can get some of this YouTube money. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. But what I meant to say was so that you can get the latest episodes when they drop. So until next time, remember, we all have blind spots. These are the things about ourselves that we can't see, but that are obvious to others. I know I got mine. What about you? Peace.